What would you do if the man your pastor called his most trusted elder, the one who handled the church's biggest donations, was secretly planning to destroy him and take everything he owned? Welcome to Afro Folktales. Let me tell you about Elder Ben, respected, soft-spoken, and the right-hand man to one of Accra's most beloved pastors. Every Sunday, he was the first to arrive and the last to leave, his face a perfect picture of loyalty. The congregation trusted him. Pastor Mensah believed he was a gift from God. But nobody saw the darkness brewing in Elder Ben's heart. This is his story. Pastor Mensah's Glory House Chapel wasn't one of those small roadside churches you see in the suburbs of Accra. No, this was a megachurch. A massive auditorium in East Legon, filled to capacity for its 2 overflow services every Sunday. This was the kind of church where government officials came for prayers, where business moguls gave testimonies, and where everyone wore their most expensive kente and lace. And Pastor Mensah, he was the kind of spiritual father everyone adored. Charismatic, with a smile that could calm any storm. When he preached, his voice, a mixture of Chi and English, boomed with authority. People said he was a true man of God, a prophet for this generation. But his greatest weakness was his complete trust in his most senior elder. Elder Ben was the model church leader. He was in his late 50s, with a calm demeanor and a way of speaking that made you feel at ease. He led the men's fellowship, organized the church's annual harvest, and most importantly, he was the head of the finance committee. He was the one who counted the heavy offerings and tithes. A man of integrity, Pastor Mensah would often say, placing a hand on his shoulder. Brother Ben is a pillar of this house. When Pastor Mensah preached, Elder Ben would sit in the front row, nodding in agreement, his eyes seemingly filled with holy reverence. But behind the pious nods and humble smiles, a different man existed. A man consumed by jealousy. Elder Ben had been with Pastor Mensah from the very beginning, back when the church was just a small gathering under a mango tree in a school park. He had seen the church grow, had seen Pastor Mensah's influence explode. And while the pastor's star rose, Elder Ben felt he remained in the shadows. He saw the expensive cars the pastor drove, the beautiful house he lived in, the respect he commanded. And a bitter seed of envy took root in his soul. "I was here from the start," he would mutter to his wife at night. "I sacrificed just as much. Why should he have everything?" The plan began subtly. It started with the church's new building project, a multi-million Sadie cathedral. As the head of finance, Elder Ben was in charge of the contracts and payments. He started by slightly inflating the cost of building materials, creating fake receipts and pocketing the difference. It was small at first, just a few thousand Sadies here and there. He told himself it was what he deserved for his years of thankless service. But the taste of stolen money was sweet, and his greed grew. Soon, small theft wasn't enough. He wanted it all. He started spreading quiet rumors, whispering seeds of doubt into the ears of other influential church members. "Have you noticed Pastor Mensah's new Land Cruiser?" he would ask with faint concern. "The building project is moving so slowly, yet our pastor is prospering. We must pray for him against the temptations of money." He was a master manipulator, framing his poison as genuine concern. Some began to listen. They saw the pastor's blessings and, guided by Elder Ben's whispers, started seeing them not as God's favor, but as a sign of corruption. The final act of his betrayal was diabolical. Elder Ben knew the church had purchased a large plot of land for a new branch. Using his position and the trust Pastor Mensah had in him, he managed to get the land documents. With the help of a crooked lawyer, he forged the documents, transferring ownership of the land from the church's name into his own. His plan was to wait a few months and then sell the land for a massive profit, leaving the church and the pastor with nothing. He had everything in place. The ultimate prize was within his grasp. But as the Bible says, what is done in darkness will be brought to light. The church's accountant, a sharp young man named Kwame, noticed some inconsistencies in the financial records for the building project. A payment to a supplier seemed unusually high. He decided to do his own checks, calling the supplier directly. The truth he uncovered was shocking. The supplier confirmed they had received a much smaller amount than what was recorded. Kwame knew who had signed off on the payment. His heart sank. It was the man everyone trusted. It was Elder Ben. With trembling hands, Kwame knew he had to tell Pastor Mensah. The storm was about to break. Subscribe, like and turn on your notification for more videos like this.